Hi everybody, I'm Christopher Brown from Teed and Brown, and today I want to show you a little tool, or more of a visualization technique that I like to use when you think about how much water to put down on a lawn through the seasons. Now you have the cooler weather in the spring, hot weather in the summer, and then cooler weather again in the fall. So I've got a little graph here, and you can see on the vertical axis we've got the amount of water being put down, either an extreme amount of water or none whatsoever. Either one is good. Now along here we have our temperature gradient. Okay, now what I do is picture this as a wedge. I call it the water wedge, and I'm proud to say that I coined that myself. I'm going to draw that for you right here. It goes something like this. When the weather is cooler, the amount of water that you can put on the lawn and get really good results is pretty big. There's a certain base amount that you need, and that's on the low side, and then you can add a whole lot more water and still get pretty good results before you get to the point where there's too much. And on the downside, because it's cooler, the soil isn't drying out nearly as quickly, so the lawn is still going to look pretty good even if you don't put as much water on. As the temperature gets hotter and hotter, you're going to need more and more water, as you can see, in order to keep your lawn in this wedge zone of water happiness. What happens if you're outside this wedge zone? Well, red, not good. Down here, we're too dry. And up here, we've got all sorts of disease problems and other fungi and molds and things that are going to cause problems on the lawn. Those things aren't very active in cooler weather, which is why you've got a much broader amount of water that you can put down. But as things get hotter and hotter, you can notice this wedge gets tinier and tinier, and it's very hard to get a precise amount of water on the lawn. This is a tremendous challenge, and it's one of the reasons why irrigation professionals are so hard to come by, and why it's actually much more difficult than the average person realizes to keep a lawn in really tip-top shape through these extreme weather conditions like plus 90 degrees and so on. Remember, we're growing cool season grasses here in Connecticut, and watering them gets trickier and trickier as the temperatures rise. So if you're struggling, you're having some problems, maybe a little bit of overwatering, a little bit of underwatering, as the temperatures are getting hotter, just remember that's normal. Let us know what's going on. We can take a look at it and help guide you in the right direction, either up or down. Thank you very much for joining me. I'm Chris from Teed and Brown.